Welcome back, guys. We're at another lovely Friday, and to start things off, let's do it right.
Oh, getting a little excitement.
A little bit of splish splashy there.
Okay. All right, guys, so we're back again with another episode of Customer States where we talk about everything in the automotive industry, blah, blah, blah. You've been here before.
Maybe they haven't. Maybe you're new here. If you are, hello.
If you're here, good luck. All right, anyway. Anyways, my name is Jake Reikus. I've been in the service industry for about 3 years as a certified service advisor. I've been working on vehicles since I was wee little, and to my left on the board, since Kevin is not here, is Man with Many Hats.
That's about three pages prior. Hi, my name is Mike Serra. I am the man with many hats. I'm the senior master technician, shop foreman, fixer of things, wearer of hats,
IT.
destroyer of dreams, IT.
Oh, yeah.
Interviewing new
hires.
and now button masher as well.
Home wrecker.
Can't prove that. Can't prove that. Hashtag sell the bell.
Oh, I should also said I'm also a chair swiveler and pen clicker.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks.
And once again, this is Customer States Podcast, where we talk about everything in the automotive industry. And
Are you playing footsie with me?
No.
footsie adjacent to me is Allie, the warranty wizard herself, Allie Paul.
What's up, everybody? This is Allie. I have been doing warranty for 11 years at the dealership for 11. And yeah, we're doing it. I've opened it that way before. We're doing it. We're making it happen. I need to workshop my openings.
Yeah, if it works, don't fix it.
But today is a very, very special day.
What makes it so special?
Because
Because
Kier is here. Yes.
I got the horns. Woo!
And technically to my right is Kier.
Hi, guys. I'm Kier. I've been in the automotive industry for 26 years. Been an advisor I was an advisor for 12 years. I've been a assistant service manager for about the last 5 months. And
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
welcome.
It's been a hell of an undertaking.
It's super
A
easy,
little bit of
right?
remorse.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of buyer's remorse.
You
but
know what? No,
we're going to get through it.
Yeah, you're gonna do fine. You're gonna overcome. We will overcome.
Woo!
Yeah.
so
Think about all the things that you're learning.
yeah, use that term lightly.
Learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning to cope with it at this point, I'm sure.
The one thing this job teaches you, or just in the automotive field, is how to not kill people. The restraint it teaches you is amazing.
You just have to take it on the chin and turn the other cheek. Yeah, it's
Phrasing.
Oh,
the phrasing button is on another page. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
moving
fine.
forward.
So, Mike, you're going to go ahead and start this off because you and your overworking tendencies apparently showed up on Labor Day.
dedication.
That is
So-
not dedication.
So
What did you say, Kier?
Excellent. Either
Kier-
dedicated or dumb.
Yeah.
One of the two. Some of both.
also yes. So yeah, Kier doesn't even know about this story. So on Friday, I had checked the Workday application, which is where I clock in and out of work and stuff like
Okay.
that. And usually on there, it'll tell me oh, it's Labor Day. Here's your 8 hours paid holiday, and it shows that ahead of time. Well, in the application.
So frustrated.
In the application, it didn't say anything for that, that it was a paid holiday. So I figured, so we're coming into work. So Monday morning comes around, I get up.
You
bright
were
and
that
early,
person?
and I show up to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and go ahead and open up the gates and walk around the shop and open up all the doors, turn on the lights, turn on the compressors, open up the showroom, get the keyboards out, start doing everything. Then I noticed my first clue was when I pulled up to work in the morning and I noticed that 2 of my other early employees weren't there. I was like, oh, good for them. They took Labor Day off. Makes sense. Okay. So,
Oh my God.
I opened up the shop, and literally an hour and 45 minutes later, I'm walking up to the service drive. I'm like, man, where is everybody? No one's come in yet. Like, there's nobody here. What's going on? So I walk up there and I look at the schedule to see who's supposed to be working today. And dun, dun, dun.
Nobody.
Zombie apocalypse.
I realize that it says closed.
Oh my.
Mike, this
Oh, wait, hold on.
That's good.
Yeah.
this is also going to be your intervention that you work too hard.
I enjoy what I do and I have pride in my work. And yes, Allie.
I have a question.
Yes.
So over on Friday, when you were talking with everybody, hey, what are you gonna do this weekend?
No,
None of that.
No mention whatsoever.
No one was
mention
like,
from
oh, well, on Monday.
manager or any fellow employees or anything. I guess it was just assumed that
Nice.
everybody knew. I mean, now I will tell you that I have a schedule, and that schedule did say that we were off that day, and it is pinned on a refrigerator that's sitting on top of my toolbox that is to the left of my computer normally. So I had every chance in the world to look at that and realize that I had Monday off. However, I chose to look at the time, clock in, clock out application and didn't see it posted there. So I just figured that I was supposed to come in.
Yeah, we'll call it dedication.
Yeah. Or
Stupidity.
Wait, so how long?
dedication.
So you
Dedication or
just,
dumb.
so you just. I'm sorry you had to wake up early though.
I would
You would have been
I
on.
was. Yeah, I was. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
okay.
You're early
So the people
riser.
that are early birds are always early birds, even if it's on the weekend.
We woke up at like 7:45 that morning.
Yeah, that's sleeping in for like an hour and 45 minutes.
That's when I realized that I didn't have to be at work.
Yeah. Well, and see, the thing is, though, it's all like when early bird for us, even 7:45, when I have people calling and they're like, oh, I want an appointment for the early morning. Okay, I've got 7:30, 8, 8:30. No, I'm thinking more 10:30. The fuck? That must be nice.
Yeah.
I would love to start my day at 10:30.
I have one specific coworker who comes in at 9:30 to 10 every single day, and he is not a manager. It's Derek.
Oh, gotcha.
He does contracts.
Whoa. Can't name drop here.
Oh, Derek's been mentioned on the podcast before.
A little bit of bus rolling if I've ever heard it.
Bus rolling.
Derek listens.
Yeah.
Hi,
There it goes.
Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hello, Derek.
See,
As I looked
And-
over at Kier, hello.
see,
Just kidding.
and that's the difference between mine and your dealership is like how, nobody really talked about the whole thing about getting Monday off. At our place, everybody like 2 weeks prior was like, are you so fucking stoked for Labor Day?
Yeah, it was like school's out.
3 days. 3 days.
I legit had no idea. I mean, and it was funny. Like my dad was texting me like, "Oh, can you come over to the house at like 10 at 10?" I was like, "Tonight? Like this is Sunday.
It's a
Like,
work night.
I can't come over at 10 o'clock at night. I have work tomorrow." He's like, "What do you mean you have work tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yes, I work tomorrow. Don't you know it's Labor Day?" "Yes, I know it's Labor Day. I have to labor on Labor Day. I'm very
Yeah.
sorry." It's,
That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do on Labor Day.
Fool,
It's like
me.
It's like
Hopefully I'll
America's
remember next year.
Shabbos.
Yeah. It's just another hat to add. Sell the bell.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I mean, I was kind of embarrassed. I took like some very sheepish selfies and
Oh,
Yeah,
can I post them?
maybe.
Maybe.
Was it like sad face and like, where's everybody?
It was very pouty. I'm not going to say duck lips, but it was very pouty face.
Duck lips.
It was a picture of me with, in the service office with nobody around, and then a picture of the schedule that said that we were off on that day.
awesome.
Oh,
So, it's okay.
Well, we got kind of screwed this year with, what we would have gotten time off for all of the, holidays.
yeah, all the holidays fall on Saturday.
I was going to say Christmas, you're screwed. New Year's Eve, you're screwed. Actually, the only thing that is Thanksgiving, but that's because it's Thursday.
It's
every
always
year.
Thursday, so
Yeah.
no holidays.
You know what? I'm curious if that's going to change this year. Now that
What, they're just going to change
no.
Thanksgiving?
no, oh my god,
Well, COVID happened. There's Thanksgiving's been on Wednesdays now.
no, because Sam passed. I'm
Yes.
curious how previously, if you took the extra day off, you didn't get paid. I'm curious if now they're going to be like, okay, now we're going to kind of reel back on that or reel that
Yeah,
in.
I have a question. Is that a thing where you guys work? Like, if you take a day preceding,
Either before or after a paid holiday, will you get paid for the holiday if you take a vacation day
the old-
prior or before or after?
The old company was that if you had to be there at least 4 hours the day before and the day after.
So you could
to
do
get
like a
paid for the
half day. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you would get
But
paid.
I don't believe that that's the way with the new company that took over.
Yeah, at our shop, we're day before and day after.
Okay. So
Full
that's
day,
like a normal.
full
Full
hours.
days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full days.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're there Friday, you'd have to be there on Tuesday for our guys because of the, we're closed on Saturdays. So,
Okay.
That must be nice.
yes.
We
Are you open
we
on
are
Saturday?
too.
Hell yeah.
You
Yeah.
work on, but you don't
no,
work
no,
on
okay.
Saturday. That's like a looby day.
No,
service-
sorry. That you have to, as soon as you have 4 hats, you are no longer required to work on Saturdays.
Minimum of
Hold
4
on. I
hat
have to add-
requirement.
I have to add plumber onto my hat
Excellent.
this week.
Excuse me.
I played plumber with Alex this week. Well, kind
Wait, phrasing.
Service manager? The service
of.
manager?
The new to be. The new to be.
Just wanted to stick that in there.
That's fine. And like I said,
Phrasing.
I'm happy for the guy. I'm bummed I didn't get it, but what are you gonna do? Life moves on. But yeah, this year really screwed us with the whole vacation time. I'm super bummed about that.
Well, with the Labor Day and the long weekends, it's nice. I love it. But for the rest of the week, it's like catch up the whole rest of the
but
week.
that's only
It's
holidays. Like, that's to be expected. Any time that you have a prolonged time off, like even when you take time off of work, like you talked about last week,
Yeah.
there's always going to be a backlog of stuff for you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's to be expected.
well,
That's
just
normal.
because it's to be expected doesn't mean I have to like it.
yeah,
Dude, what's that saying from that one movie? Tuesday bent me over a barrel and showed me the 50 states.
I don't know that movie,
Really?
but that is funny.
Oh my god, I can't remember the name of that damn movie. I'm surprised none of you know that, especially you and Mike.
I've heard you say it, but I don't know what it's from.
I don't have a soundbite for that. I'm looking right now.
Mike is frantically. I couldn't think of the word. All I could think of was frequently.
Mikey boy, you mentioned clearing up backlog.
Oh yeah. So we had talked in previous podcasts about how my department, my dealership in general is backed up in work. And my department was, at least a few weeks out, if not a month or so out. So I finally ended up clearing out the backlog of stuff that I had currently sitting at the dealership. And as I was finishing the last 2 tickets, I got with one of the advisors, actually not an advisor, it was Sam, the warranty administrator, who's coming on the freaking podcast soon.
Sam, do
when?
it,
Now.
do
Have to
it,
get
do
on here.
it.
Sam.
Oh, so this is funny. Can you read that, Kier?
Denise.
Yeah.
Oh,
My service manager's calling me right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Answer.
No.
Dude, you should,
put it on
you should answer.
speaker.
You should answer on the podcast.
is
Come
it
on.
okay that I put you on the? You're being recorded.
No, because whatever she's going to say is going to be private. Anyway, so
Lame.
Yeah, super lame.
hey, this is a cool behind the scenes for everyone right now.
Dad wears many hats.
I'm not going to be able to edit this out. So anyway, moving forward, clearing up my backlog, I was able to finally get through all of the stuff that I had currently sitting in my stalls. Waiting for authorization, waiting for parts. We have a horrible backlog of parts. So I have finally been able to go through that. And now we've been trying to call the customers back that are on the waiting list. I have a waiting list, it's 16 or 18 names on a sheet and then 2 pages. So some of the customers have already been able to get the vehicles fixed or don't answer phone calls. So I've been working really hard with Sam and trying to get the new the customers to come in. And so, I mean,
So does she help call the customers as well?
yeah, because we don't have an adequate support staff.
Don't even start with me with adequate
Everybody
support
has
staff.
No support staff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's literally sign-on bonuses for people to work at restaurants right now.
Yeah. Well, since OnlyFans decided to almost quit and then leave that going, all of your favorite restaurateurs now don't have any employees.
I was so looking forward to that. Hey, I recognize you from somewhere.
You would.
Yeah, I'd like the shrimp scampi. Hey, I've seen your ass.
Speaking of Scampy,
Oh my God. You're fired.
no, that's why I'm here.
That's true.
Okay.
So yeah, finally able to clear the backlog and working with Sam, it's hard to get the customers back in. We have an issue in my specific area, my region, where another local dealership doesn't have a transmission department. So then that leaves 2 further areas for the customers in our region to go to, right? And so we're trying to call these customers back. And one customer in particular had taken his car to an independent shop just because he wanted to get it fixed. And so he finally gets his appointment time, and he comes in after he's been scheduled, and he shows me the paperwork from the independent shop that says, yeah, you got these DTCs and this concern and blah, blah. And we recommend you go to the dealership because it's covered under this extended field service action, blah, blah. And the customer comes in.
Thermal events.
The customer comes in and shows me the paperwork. Oh, you have these codes, blah, blah. Yeah, that's fine. I can totally take care of it. We don't need to go for a road test. Just leave the car with me, whatever. So I go plug my computer into the vehicle to go print out the DTCs because I have to have a printout of the DTCs, right, to prove to Ford Motor Company that this vehicle actually has a problem.
Your documentation.
Well, the independent shop cleared the codes.
Awesome.
Of course they did.
So we told the customer, hey, either you can leave the vehicle with us and we'll put a service advisor in it to go drive it around until the code's reset, or you can take the car and bring it back when the code's reset. But unfortunately, this independent shop kind of screwed you over. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he was waiting for like 3 weeks.
Like, should they have known better, or was that just like
The
an
independent
honest
shop
mistake?
should have known better.
Also, independent shops will also do that just to screw other dealerships because they're like, if we can't fix it, screw it. Go ahead and dig a little bit harder.
In the paperwork, it even said, found, such and such bulletin or whatever for extended coverages and, recommend to go to dealership, clear DTCs.
Totally hosed them.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
And that's exactly it. It's another shop going, well, I lose X amount of money from this job when the customer goes, well, I'm going to take it elsewhere. It's like, fine, F you, clear the codes.
Doesn't it have for some of the Mazda vehicles, doesn't it show everything that for the connected, sorry, microphone. For the connected vehicles, like it will show, even if it was cleared, it would still show it, right?
So with the connected vehicle where you can go into the VIN and look at stored codes, the problem is it will show you that a check engine light was on, but it
won't show you all the specifics.
It's basic. So
It'll
it'll
give you
be
the data.
Right. So it's like, it'll be, it was coming from this area, or it's a possibility it was this code. But the problem is with the connected services, because it's still pretty new, on some of them, you either, you'll click into it and let's say it was an evap code. It'll be like possible from this area, and you can click into the, explanation. It'll say, these are the possible areas it's coming from. Other times when you click into it, it's just blank.
So we have what's called VHR, Vehicle Health Reports. And on our Vehicle Health Reports, it'll actually show you the DTCs and what module they're in and things like that. However, I can print that out, but that's not what Ford Motor Company
They won't accept
needs.
it.
Yeah, that's not the proof that they need for the warranty side of it. Okay.
And see,
There's a lot of specifics, at least for the Volkswagen side. Because they have GFF, so it's guided fault finding is what they call theirs.
Yeah, we have guided routines and things like that as well, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very specific of like how everything has to be run. It can't be a temporary log. It has to be like a permanent log and like this whole thing.
So can I tell you?
And when I do look at the data, because I have to know from time to time, it's in German.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I have World Lens on my phone.
Yep. So
on the computer screen.
Let me tell
There's
you.
a soundbite for that. Hold on, just nobody talk right now.
Just click, 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 click.
Let me tell you a little secret about that connected services. What that is really honestly for, and what that was brought about
So the
for,
government can track you.
Sure, we can go with that. The main reason is with that was kind of a selling point also for the customers for a new car. So if they're stranded in the middle of nowhere and the car shuts down, it's got a check engine light, and they call Mazda roadside, they go, well, we can look at your car and tell you this is what it is, and that's to calm down. That's really about it.
Nothing you can do about that
right,
from
but
a phone call over a satellite.
Right, but to your regular Joe, when you're sitting there like, oh my God, my car stopped. What could it possibly
peace
be?
of mind
and then you
potentially
go,
that
well,
you
we
can give
logged
the
into your
customer,
connected services and it shows us just your so-and-so and there's nothing to worry about. We'll send a tow truck. It's better than going, well, I don't really know. Hopefully your car doesn't
Sir,
explode.
are you still sitting in the car? Oh my God, get out!
But
Oh my God, that would be so traumatic.
and in
Just kidding.
yeah, well, that was like
That's like Jake's COVID
it's like that was
test.
like my damn COVID test. I had to go.
What?
I thought I had.
Sorry, side note, this is important.
I thought I had COVID a long time ago. It's just I had a really sore throat
do
with
look
all
like
of that.
shit.
Oh, that's normal, dude. If you know me, you know me. I had a really, really bad sore throat. And of course, that whole thing is one of the big signs is you're going to get a sore throat first. So I went to an urgent care that night because I'm all like, well, I need to find out. I don't want to go to work and get everybody else sick. So I go to the urgent care. I, get the rapid test. The lady comes out and she's the helper. She's not the actual nurse.
She wasn't the person who took the test.
She's the receptionist. So she tells me, okay, I'm going to send somebody out for you. They're going to do the test for you. She'll apply the swab. She'll bring it back, and then I will come out and tell you what we have found.
Right. Okay.
So lady comes out, shoves it into the back of my, my
brain.
Yeah, my brain. And she leaves.
Well, at least that's still there.
Right. Well, I don't know, man. It's like
allegedly
when she heard that, it was a lot of
rattle.
Inside, exactly, rattle.
Well, to be fair.
To be fair. Very nice. So she leaves, and of course, I'm sitting there and I'm nervous. It's like, you're thinking, well, shit, I've got COVID. Who fucking knows? Maybe, whatever the case. Her helper comes out, and she looks at me and she goes, I'm so sorry, you have COVID. And my heart drops.
We both are.
Yeah, we both are. So, and that's
what she said.
Yeah. No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one, Mike.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Dear God.
Conceivable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's one up, one down. I'm sorry.
Kevin, we miss you.
Inconceivable.
So she goes, sir, I'm so sorry. You have COVID. And I go white and I feel my heart drop. And then she goes, oh, I'm just kidding. You're fine. Bitch, what?
The bedside manner is not good with this one.
See, here's the thing, though, especially in the service industry, when you do stuff like that, it's like, that's ground.
Like, that's like if Jake was like, I'm sorry, you need a new engine. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, I do that with customers sometimes.
Mike.
But no.
If I know a customer real well, that's a different story.
So this is after I've been on a road test with them, and
Right.
in the 5 or 10 minutes that we're road testing, we have a little bit of rapport. If you talk to me for 5 minutes, you know that humor is my go-to, right? So
Yep.
Right,
you know,
right.
Now
We do a podcast.
Now she was, she was
I
lucky.
can't hand out the business cards to the customers, unfortunately,
No.
because
No.
they're going to be on the podcast.
She was lucky that I wasn't one of those Karen types, because that's like super crazy grounds to get fired. It's like it'd be the exact same thing as if we pulled something like that. It's like, oh well, sorry, we whatever to your car and now it's effed, so it's all on you, or whatever the case, or a Karen that walks in and it's like, well, fuck you too, bitch, leave.
There's an extent you can pull. It's like, oh, you know what? We did the diagnosis, and it turns out that you're going to need a new transmission. Blah blah.
And dude,
actually, you know what? I'm just kidding. It's covered under warranty. It's already done. Come pick up your car. It's cool.
Well,
This was like mid-peak COVID. This wasn't like after it
mid-peak.
Yeah, like right when that
This
first
was like
spike
the
happened.
2.5 wave.
Extra medium.
Yeah, extra medium.
Yeah.
Extra medium shorts. So that was fun, but whatever. I didn't have COVID, so there's a bonus on that one. But that was not fun. I still can't stand thinking about that.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. But anyways, on that, with the whole customer thing, how you said the humor with what a customer needs, I've got a quick story on that before we move on.
Oh, good. Let's hear it.
I had a customer.
The royal we.
Yeah, the royal we. I had a customer today who came in with I can't remember the code, but it was...
I only know the P0420. That's the only one I know by heart.
And what does that mean?
It's for a cat.
Bank one.
It's efficiency.
Cat
Yeah,
efficiency.
bank one cat efficiency.
Yeah. If you're gonna know one code, that's a good one to know.
Yes, it is.
420. Like, of course I know that code.
Why do you know that code?
Because
In high school, she
I need my medicine, Jacob.
Oh, dear God.
Moving forward,
We probably should. I forget the code, but it was for temperature threshold 1 and 2 below correlation. I think I'm spitballing here, but
Those are words.
it's either for
it's either secondary O2, like the catalyst monitor sensor.
no
O2 sensor
no. This was temperature correlation 1 and 2.
for a cat, like for an O2 sensor.
No, not for an O2
diesel?
No, it wasn't a diesel. So it's either it's one of three things. It's either the intake, the actual. You're right. The mass airflow sensor. The connectors can be fried from I forget the number of the pins, but it can be there. It can be your heater core malfunctioning, or it can be your thermostat.
Man, that seems like a lot of different things that aren't related.
But that's what when you go in and you look and you read all the TSBs and all that crap, it's one of those three.
So Mazda is a terrible.
You have no idea.
One code for 3 things.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good luck.
But no diag.
Yeah. You have no idea. And then when you call Techline to ask, it's like, what do you guys want us to do with this? Well, there's really nothing we can do for you. Go ahead and send the customer home. As soon as it's worse, we'll go from there. We were told that today, man. We called Tech.
Wait, was that the P0300 one that you called me about today?
So that's a random misfire.
Correct. So that was a random misfire. It's a Miata, and I'll get back to the story. But this
but that was just like a decarb, I thought.
So hold on.
Oh, there's more.
So random misfire.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
We wanted to do a decarb because we know that that's all it needs. He's using super crappy gas, and the Miatas are horrible with that.
It's not warranted.
So there you go. So when we called Techline to ask them, it's like, hey, look, guys,
That's not warranty.
that's not warranty. When we called Techline, we're like, guys, it's gonna need a decarb. It's like it's got misfires on every single cylinder. It's enough. This is really what it needs. We don't need to throw parts at it. And Techline's response was, well, how many misfires are on each cylinder? And we're like, anywhere between like 2 and 7.
Like looking at mode 6 or something.
Mode
like
6,
that.
correct. So they're like, nope, that's not bad enough. Clear the code, send it home. As soon as it gets worse, we'll see if we can help out the customer.
Is this under warranty?
Under warranty.
Oh, wow, that's
Even so, man, it's all like
I called and warranty said it was covered if Techline said it was okay.
Brutal.
It's super brutal. So back to the other one. So this lady who comes in, she's super nice and she loves her car. It's a 2014 CX-5 with 115,000 miles. So it's out of all warranty. Her extended service contract expired 5,000 miles prior to her coming in. She had she had a 110,000 mile warranty head to toe extended. So it came in and I told her, look, these codes, according to Mazda, can be your mass airflow sensor, it can be a heater core, or it can be your thermostat.
I don't know if I feel good at being the customer. It's like, oh fuck, like how much diag are you gonna charge me to figure out what is wrong?
And see, I told her, I'm like, look, if it's your mass airflow sensor, you're looking at like $200. If it's your thermostat, you're looking at like $4 or $5. If it's your heater core, you're looking at like $2,400.
Yeah,
100.
It's like a choose your own
24 to 3G.
adventure.
So
man,
exactly. So
great book.
So she goes and she sits and she's sweating because she's like, just my luck, it's going to be the fucking heater core. And she goes and we go, and sure enough, all that it is a PCM reflash. There's a TSB out for it specifically for that model.
Isn't there usually
Option
like
4.
Yeah.
Correct. So just a reflash to the PCM. It said to check the 2 connector pins of the mass airflow sensor. If that's fine, you check something, whatever. He told me it's good. Test drove it, plugged it back in, everything's gone. So we're good.
Wait.
So I walk in and I look at her and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, what? I'm like, it needs a heater core. And she's like, oh.
You did that thing.
She's really, I did. She's a super nice lady. So she goes, oh my God, that's not what I need right now. And I'm all like, can I tell you a secret? She's like, it doesn't need one. I'm like, it doesn't need one.
Oh, it doesn't need one.
I need about 350. So that, but it's like that. When you know it's the specific customers, you can kind of push them.
You can judge.
Right.
You know, some people appreciate humor, some people do not, and
Right.
you don't use it on them, and you be very cut and dry. And
Right.
the people that you do, you thank goodness gracious for, and or the flying spaghetti monster in the sky, and
Right.
move on with life.
Exactly. So it is fun to do. And I mean, I had a customer also where he just showed up randomly right at the end of the day and he's like, Jake, look what I bought. And he pulls me outside and he's got a brand new Corvette.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did you get the money to do this, man? You
Well, I traded in my 3 Series. My Mazda 3.
No, he's all like,
whatever.
he drove a
3-speed.
He drove a 15
Special
Mazda
warranty.
3. I'm like,
Did I call it? Oh my God.
Nailed it.
yeah. And I'm all like, where did you get this, man? He's like, oh, somewhere in Glendale, some dude was selling it at like 3,500 under Blue Book. I'm like, oh, good for you, dude.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah, but it's cool to have those, relationships.
That's
with customers.
surprising given the current
Yeah, tell me
used
about
car
it.
market.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Something's wrong with that car.
Yeah, your front line actually still looks pretty full.
Yeah, we've actually started getting a bunch of cars in.
Oh, good.
Oh, I thought you didn't sell anything.
At least
No, we sell a ton of stuff, but
At least somebody has inventory.
Yeah, we're not a used car lot like your guys' lot.
Man.
That's what it's
There's-
becoming.
Wait,
But
there's a soundbite for that.
If everything you're doing is bad, I want you to know this.
Or you could have gone with, I need about 350.
Well, also, that works too.
yeah, we've been getting in quite a bit of inventory lately. There's some stuff we're still not getting in. We got a bunch of the new L's in, and yeah, let's release a car before everything's fixed.
Yeah. Well, like
Software
you do.
flash on software flash on software flash.
You have that too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like with the new Mazda 3s.
I think that's just the norm. That's
holy
just the
shit.
norm now. Get them out as soon as possible. We'll figure out the kinks once they're on
Everything's
the
waiting
line.
for chips. Let's not fix everything else, though. Let's
Were
just
they
let them
stop
sit
sales?
and then ship them. No, they weren't stop sales, but they were definitely inconvenient.
Yeah.
For a, inspecting a third row headrest to go find the car, get the car, do the car, pull it up takes more than the 2/10 that it pays.
Yep.
Yep.
And so
That's
we
funny.
came up with a plan to just do them right there on the lot.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
same
That's
thing.
what we do for
Yeah.
our recalls.
We
Oh,
had
it's
a
horrible.
headrest
all lined
concern
up.
with the new Mazda 3s.
Crazy.
We had a headrest concern. We had a rear view mirror concern. We had 7
I don't know.
software
It's
updates.
becoming really hard to keep track of it, but it makes my job really easy because you can just get in the groove. And there's templates for it.
punch it.
Yep.
Yep.
How about those new mirrors, the backup mirrors that are actually cameras and the video screens? Hate it.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, you hate
I
it.
kind of like them.
Hate it. It just it's weird. Like
Because it
it's
doesn't.
moving. and
What you're
it's-
used to.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
totally
that.
different.
Yeah, and plus, with the fancier shit gets, the easier.
Like when you
It's a
back up.
$700 mirror, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. When you back up, do you use the backup camera or do you still pull like one of these?
I physically turned my neck.
Always
Okay.
supposed to look
Over your
at
shoulder.
surroundings and not rely on the camera. It even says that when you're doing that.
No.
Please always check your surroundings and do not solely rely on
It
the camera.
beeps and tells me if there's something coming.
So,
You've always grown up driving cars from this era, and you've never had to look over your shoulder to back
No,
up.
of course
So
I
continue
have.
to do that because cameras lie.
Then why is the fuck? What do you mean cameras lie?
Camera at 10 pounds is a very common saying.
But
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
to
10
make
inches.
sure-
man, I'm
closer.
screwed
I
then.
don't
10 inches.
know.
Oh, by the
10
way,
inches.
hey, everybody wave.
Hi. Hi, camera.
This might make it to YouTube. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hopefully.
you might see us actually doing this and see how boring we are in real life.
YouTube, customer states, ... podcast. There you go. That's an easy plug.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Speaking of easy plugs,
Speaking of easy plugs, well, also speaking of possible new, so I had a customer who isn't really super like mechanically inclined, but she walked up and she's
really a customer that's not mechanically inclined, but they think they are.
like, right. Well, this one's like really not. Like, I mean, super not. Like, anyways. She came in and she started asking about Mazda's new electric vehicle that's supposed to be coming out this year, as long as everything, by the grace of God, goes along. We're supposed to get them in October.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Besides the fact of they have horrible range for the first electric that's being introduced by Mazda in the U.S. markets to be 130 miles.
You're supposed to talk good about.
That's not
talk good
that's
about
not
it.
good. Everybody we have told who has been waiting for an electric and a hybrid, the first thing they ask is, "What's the range?"
Yeah,
and you tell
of
them
course.
120 to 130, and they're like, "Why would I buy that?"
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
So I realize I work for Mazda, but there's a point. 130 miles when you're facing every other electric car out there that smokes that. That's just really bad everything. So she comes in and she goes, "Hey, and she goes, what? I haven't. Well, I know about the electric, but what's the new model?" And it's coming out as the MX-30. And she goes, "Oh, that's super cool. Have you guys heard about the new CX-50?" And I'm like, "What?"
We're adding zeros
Yeah.
to our car
Yeah,
list.
and I look at her, I'm like, CX-50, what's that? And she's all like, you haven't heard? I'm like, well, Mazda usually releases these things when it becomes a reality. Right. It's not like car and driver or anything like that.
Yeah, you get all the prototypes and
exactly
concept cars.
And she pulls it up and she's like, oh yeah, totally. So she pulls it up and Mazda, and once she showed me this, it made sense. Mazda sent us an email not too long ago about a patent that they were sending out for a all-new inline-six redesign. And that's all public knowledge.
Surprise! It's going to be a rotary engine instead.
Yeah, well, they want to bring back the Wankel, and that's going to happen.
The Winkle.
That's
The
what it's
Wankel.
rotary.
Is that what it's
That's
called?
yeah, the Wankel engine. Yeah, yep.
It's rotary.
So
By Mr. Winkle.
So she showed me this, and it's going to be basically the redesign of the CX-5, the redesign of the CX-9, and the redesign of the CX-30, I believe. But it's all going to be turbo, all-wheel drive, inline six, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But if Mazda does that and they do it right with the redesign and how they do the engine, technically it could be a pretty bitchin' car.
It's kind of weird to have an inline six again.
Bigger motor. Yeah, it's weird. It seems like it's backwards for what everybody else is doing.
Well,
Right.
And if they could put a 2-cylinder in there and get 50 miles to the gallon, that's what they're going to
BMW still does the inline six.
Yeah.
So
Well, and plus, basically, all that they're doing is when we were teamed up with you guys, with Ford, when they were making all of our V6s,
Yeah.
now they're all like, well, maybe we can do it ourselves, but be an inline.
New product.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
is that an in-house? Is that your Mazda's own design?
Correct. Mazda's own design. Everything is patented from head to toe by them. So we'll see what happens. Mike has to go pee.
Okay, so that is not what that means.
It is what it means. Don't listen to him.
I actually don't have to pee. We have adopted that as the go to break thing until I get music that I write and record.
You can't get rid of the key jangle.
No, that has to stick.
Okay.
I've heard so many people be like, I love the keys.
Okay, so fine. We'll do the keys, and that'll be the intro into the music for the outro. Okay, and intro.
Okay,
work.
it's decided.
Anyway, so we are going to go to break. Do want to thank our sponsors, all of them. We will talk about them more after the break. And again, thank you, Kier. You will be joining us after the break as well.
Yes. Thank you, man.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
If you want to.
You don't have
We're
to.
not holding you hostage.
Kier, you haven't
I kind of
said
feel like it is.
You
you
get
haven't
consent.
said almost anything this whole podcast. We're gonna
I've been very quiet.
We're gonna have a Kier heavy podcast.
Oh, boy.
at the end of it. So please join us after the break
And listen to the sponsors. Buy Mexican food. Buy parts.
and accessories. Okay, and we are going out.
Welcome back to Customer States Podcast. We're back from the break. I'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out here.
Keeping the lights on.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Yes, I want to thank Nick Lowridge from Matco Tools,
Nick.
Travis Ferris,
Hey, Nick.
Hit Distributing, supplying Justice Brothers products. Ray Moon,
Like that
from,
like that tasty ass JV80.
See that hat right there?
By the way, Ray, before, and I don't mean to interrupt you, I have so many people that are at my dealership that have listened to this that are planning to do a mass pilgrimage to
Walk
your
around.
We should have a
restaurant
meetup at
just to
El
go and
Ranchito.
taste your food.
so Ray does host car shows there all the time.
Yeah, as soon as my 73 is done, I'd love to drive it up there.
So yes, thank you to Ray Moon from El Ranchito Taco Shop in Lake Elsinore. I have personally been there. The food is amazing. Huge bar, many games for the kids. Blah blah, free play for the kids.
Kids, what are those?
little adult humans?
Little Tiny Humans.
Also, want to give a big shout out to.
You can do it.
I think that's it. Actually,
Okay, there you go.
Okay, perfect. To you listening.
Oh, actually,
thank you.
I'll give one.
the listeners, yes, thank you.
I was going to say I'll give one. Sean, we love you, dude.
Oh yes, Sean Lifter, man. Love you, buddy. Love you. You're always in our thoughts.
Always.
And I cannot wait until you're out of the hospital area and back to normal and come here and be on the podcast with us. We love you so much.
Get better, Sean.
Yeah, get better, man. Hashtag Celebell.
So
He'll get it.
Yeah, it's 100%. So we're going to actually turn our attention a bit to you, Kier.
buddy.
After we do this.
Oh, it's a Kraken.
The Kraken.
Release it.
This podcast is
One.
not brought to you by Kraken.
1, 2, 3.
All right, now wait, everybody quiet.
Oh,
Oh, that's not it.
You're cleaning that.
Berkeley.
You're
Oh
cleaning-
yeah, you
Kevin
need to do
did
that.
that. Kevin did
You
that
need to
before
do
he
that
left,
in
and it was right
front
there.
of the
did
pop
not clean the
filter.
mic.
I have that recorded. I will show
Okay.
you how close he got.
I know, but he didn't clean the microphones yet. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
You know what? I saw Kevin do
he
it.
doesn't get paid to do anything.
I saw Kevin do it, so I'm like, well, it must be fine. But
If Kevin jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too?
most likely, because he does pretty badass shit.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Kevin is a lot of fun. I miss him. Kevin, get your ass back on here.
So we are going to turn our attention to Kier, and we're going to ask him a couple of questions just so that we can figure out what makes Kier tick, what Kier drives, why he decided to punish himself and join this industry. Right? So we'll each kind of ask a question, but we'll start with Mikey.
So, Kier and I have actually worked together, and strange story, he was actually Kevin's service advisor when Kevin had his Jeep over at
I'm so sorry.
Kevin. Everybody knows Kevin as being the worst customer ever. So, yes, now that Kevin's not here, and even if he was here, I would tell you I'm very sorry that you had to deal with Kevin.
I don't remember him.
That's okay.
Which is a good thing.
That's okay.
That's a good
Blocked
thing.
it out.
That's
I'm
good.
sure it was a
Oh my
horrible
god,
experience.
I've been beating up my mic so bad today. I'm
Would
sorry.
we need to end the mic violence.
I'm
Okay.
so
You are really good at beating it. I mean, going on.
okay.
See, Mike, that
phrasing.
there you go. Okay, at least it was there.
Okay. It's a 1 in 4 chance that I was there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, Kier, why don't you talk to me about what? I mean, I know that you like cars. I know that you replaced the didn't you replace the engine in your 4Runner yourself? But what got you started into the automotive industry in the beginning? Like, take me way back. What got you? Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah. Yeah. So wonderful.
I don't have the soundbite on the board
So
because that
slow.
was a specific
So
thing
slow.
for
Dun, dun, dun,
just
dun,
for the
dun.
best of series. but
You should
thank you.
put that on.
I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back.
That's too good.
My dad was initially in the automotive industry. We were in Chicago. He worked for J.C. Whitney way back in the 70s.
Are you from Chicago?
From Chicago originally.
Chirac.
I didn't know that.
Moved out to California. My dad got a job with Tune-Up Masters as a purchaser and worked for Andy Granatelli for a bunch of years, which kind of got me into the car thing. And I started at a dealership as a porter. As a matter of fact, at
Yep, so did you.
your
Same.
location back in where Mike works now, before all
Wow.
those bays were there, back in 87,
That was the year I was
80,
born.
86, 87, 86,
How old
Okay.
are you, Kier?
50.
You're 50? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then was a porter there, moved up to doing quick line stuff with electrical.
Luby.
And no, not Luby, but more electrical stuff.
Oh,
they would call
cool, yeah.
15A and
Okay.
Yeah,
in the,
like
Chrysler world.
we call it quick service. It's like all the electrical, like
Gotcha.
doors. No,
I remember doing a lot of stuff with Mustang convertible tops back in the day.
Oh, okay.
A lot of motors, a lot of actuators,
Yep,
and
yep.
a lot of lines back then. And then doing, I did that for a few years, got out of the industry, moved to Colorado, moved back after
pretty.
10 years, and got back into the automotive industry again.
What did you do in Colorado?
In Colorado, actually, I
Fucked
worked
around.
I got married, then got divorced and moved. But no, for a living, I worked at a dealership. We had I think like 17 dealerships, and I started at a PDI center. out there.
Okay.
So we were getting in all the cars for all the locations. They'd PDI them, they'd run them through the detail, did the detail line for a long time, worked in the upholstery and trim shop for a while, doing some of the sewing, then moved down to...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, I've kind of had a bunch of different aspects. Went and ran their detail department for a little bit, and then went over to the paint and body side and was doing paintless dent repair, paint repairs,
That's
used
cool.
car stuff. Back when Saturn was a car line.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when the Saturn Sky.
I
was
just saw one
introduced.
the other day
I was
at the grocery
I
store.
was at the LA Auto Show that year when they
Wow.
pulled the sheet off of the top of that, and
Look at
everybody
this.
went absolutely ape shit over that car. And
Yeah.
then what was the other? What was the other one? The Pontiac Solstice. Was
Oh,
the
the
other one?
Solstice, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. It's like the Sky or whatever was kind of the same car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Saturn Sky and Pontiac Solstice.
Different
Those
badge.
two came out but I mean,
Oh, it's like the BRZ and the whatever the other one
Yeah.
is.
BRZ and the other one.
The Toyota and the
Yeah.
and the Subaru.
Well, yeah, I know the Supra was the BRZ, but
and
the Supra?
No.
Oh my God, bro! It's not a Supra.
it's another like couple of letters.
It's a
and a
3-letter
number or
acronym.
something. Yeah. FRZ.
Oh,
That's
the
it.
FRZ. There it is.
yes.
That's it.
Wait,
No.
no,
I don't know.
FDR? No, that's a motorcycle.
JFK.
Nope,
That's
it's
what I
not
was
that.
like, FDR.
FDR. It's dead from the waist down.
Oh my God.
Thank you,
Too
Mike.
soon.
Thank you. Too soon. Who are you?
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
So you have really had your hands really in a little bit of everything in the automotive
Yeah.
industry.
He's
Yes.
the original
cool.
man
Then
of many hats.
I got into writing, did that for 12, 13 years for Chrysler, moved around a few different spots, moved up to Jeep up, where I'm at now.
Right.
And then left there, joined Mike for a few years, and then came back.
Out of
best
curiosity,
years of my life.
and I've actually got a couple of questions for you coming from a still what I would consider myself not fresh, but still new in the whole industry with the writing thing. What brought you to writing? What was it that you went, I want to give that a go?
I like customers. I like people in general.
Being customer facing.
Yeah, I mean, I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's proven to be much more difficult. In the
Right.
last 5 years, it's gotten crazy. The last year has been bonkers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Trying, to say the least.
yeah, and it's a good way to make a living. It's, I like the aspect of I'm around cars all day. We're helping people fix problems, and I don't break my back. I mean,
Right.
Mike knows, as far as being a tech, it's really hard on the body over the years.
Sure.
And
Yeah, I have the body of a 50-year-old.
right.
60.
I'd say probably older.
He looks way better than you did.
Kier outrides.
Shots fired.
Whoa.
Kier can outride me any day, for sure. On the bicycle, for sure. We used to go riding all the time.
Are you
nice.
bicyclist?
A little bit.
He's a bicyclist.
Do you ride your tiny bicicleta to school? Now, and see that makes me feel better hearing it from you, basically, because when I got that opportunity, same as you, started as a porter, I was like, I need a job, guys. COVID hit, whatever the case, or this was actually a little bit before, but I ran my own business. I was in IT. That fell flat on its face because my partners really screwed me through that, and I got the blunt end of the stick.
Man, nothing is fucked here. Nothing is fucked.
And then I was lucky that with my lovely wife to be,
Hello.
she got me the job at the dealership as a porter, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll take it. I don't care.
Job.
But there
Right.
was a conversation that took place. I was like, are you sure?
Yeah, she did look at me
Are
and she's
you
like,
sure
are you
you
sure
wanna do
you want
this?
to work here? And it was that mentality. It's like, I don't care. It's like in my mind, it like with Mike, I work hard, whatever it is, I'm going to do my best at it, even if it's not really glorifying, so to speak. I'll shovel shit. I'll be the best shit shoveler you'll ever see in your life. So when it came up as an opportunity to be a porter, I'm like, sure, I will wash cars until you can see yourself in them. And then the opportunity came up where one of the writers decided to go elsewhere. And the service manager at that time, Don, he was like, look, there's one other person I'm looking at, but thankfully because of Allie, I had a bit more of an in. And he's like, look, this is a completely
I asked them too. I was like, are you sure?
Right. This is a completely different
Just kidding.
world. He's like, your schedule is going to be funky. You're customer facing. You're going to be dealing with a lot of weird stuff. You're going to have angry customer, all of this stuff. But at that point, I'm like, I'm good at sales. I'm good with people. I like fixing problems or figuring out how to fix problems. So it's nice hearing it the exact same thing. It's like, that's really where my mentality went.
That's how
where
we're
it's like-
driven.
right. Exactly. So it's nice
It
to hear
takes a
that.
certain kind of person, I think, too,
Yeah.
And I mean, we've all seen people go through that same position, as a writer, that are new to it, or like, yeah, I can do this, and within the first few days they're not
If
going to
they're
last.
gonna- right,
They
if
are
they're gonna make
not
it or
going to
not.
last.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people, they think that, oh yeah, how bad could it be? It could be sales. I'm good at sales. I like people. I can talk to them. It's a really rough gig.
Yes, it
It's
is.
way different.
Yeah.
Customer, and especially nowadays, customer expectation is super high and incredibly unrealistic.
The manufacturer's specifications and goals and what they want
It's
are just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I wanted
Times
to.
They are a changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and also the other thing, what all of us kind of failed as is we all should have became engineers because those guys, those guys you guys have it easy. It's like, you know what? Let's really make this real fucky, and we'll never have to touch it again after this. But the writer explaining this to a
my
customer
God.
and the tech who has to do this, this will be fantastic.
Yeah,
It's like, were you around when they did what is like the first round of CX-9s? If they needed it, there were problems with the struts for the hatch, the back hatch,
That was the
and
that was the Mazda 3s.
but they welded all of the struts into the hatch. So if it needed a new strut, it needed a new hatch.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
paint to match, I'm sure.
It was a lot of money for warranty, actually. So
right.
hey.
Good.
Right.
But so what are some of the big differences that you've seen, like in the change of the industry as you've been writing? Like what has
Really, or anything. I mean, with
yeah,
everything you've done.
because I've been in it for 10 years. Jake's been in the dealership world
Right,
for 3
3
years.
years,
Mike's been in it even longer than that.
But automotive, 20. for me.
Sure, but it's different when you're dealer facing, I think.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, on the big side of it, I mean, a lot of the things that have changed that I've seen that have really affected our jobs directly is one, the manufacturers have changed their intervals to such high intervals that the car is doomed.
Maintenance intervals, you mean?
Yeah, the maintenance intervals as far as oil changes, tranny fluids, brake fluids. These, if you look in most of the owner intervals now in the owner's manuals, they say no tranny fluid service.
Right. Same with the Mazdas. It's a sealed system.
And, I mean, it's just, I don't know if they plan on the customer only holding the car for 100,000 miles and then they just don't care because they're out of powertrain, or 60,000 miles, whatever the manufacturer's powertrain warranty
Right.
is. But if the customer doesn't think that they have to maintain their vehicle to get some sort of life out of it.
Bingo.
So yeah, 60,000 miles, you should get a tranny service, but the manufacturer says no, never. And at 100,000
Whoa.
miles, they're shocked that they need a transmission.
Right.
So they say like sealed for life or whatever. Like there's no
Life of the
service
transmission.
interval.
Right. It is a lifetime fluid, but if you read it, there's a little asterisk.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's like when I've got customers that'll show up and we're like, okay, and they ask, what did you reset my oil change interval at? And we're like, 5,000 miles, 6 months. And they're like, whoa, wait, my friend's got a so-and-so car and they say it can be once a year, 10,000 to 12,000 miles.
Bare minimum factory maintenance requirement.
Right. And I'm all like,
That's
okay. And we look at them and it's like, look, guys, it's all like, you are being told this because number one, when you're first buying the car, that sounds really great. Oh my God, low maintenance, all this
super
stuff.
cheap, cost of
Right.
ownership.
But second, it's all like what they're doing to you is later on when you come back and you're like, well, I decided to wait 15,000 miles and you do that 3 times in between oil changes, you're like, I have engine knock. And then when I have to throw all of these ROs, and these are the 3 you've had in 45,000 miles in 3 years, they are going to tell you to kick rocks.
Yep.
The engine consumes oil no matter what. Every engine consumes oil.
Yep.
That is normal. And if you let the
But
engine
Mike, it's-
oil degrade over a certain period of time or mileage, it's even worse.
But
So,
Mike, it's synthetic. It lasts forever.
yeah, maybe in the dumpster where you dumped it.
Yeah. Either way.
Don't do that. Take it to Pep Boys or whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
Any recycling center, any automotive recycling center will take that from you. Yeah. Please do not dump it down the drain.
That's the biggest change that I've seen that makes it really difficult on our stuff. And the customer expectations definitely changed going, I don't need to maintain my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you've got a lot of people, even a lot of leases, they're like,
Yeah.
3 years, I never have to spend a penny because there's maintenance built in.
Yep.
Then they buy the vehicle after the lease, and then they're like,
Oh, crap.
"Oh, it's going to cost money."
Yep.
And
Maintenance required soon light came on.
Yeah.
And then it went to like service engine oil now. And then I just waited for a little bit longer. And then the engine started to make noise. And yes. Well, that's
on our side, I
chain
can't.
of events.
We can't even change the intervals on them. It just reset the indicator, and that's it.
Right.
It's all computer based,
Reset.
algorithm.
Yep. So, and with that, with engine and trans, you've got a lurch story for me.
I do. So this actually happened this week. And I've mentioned this before. Every morning I look through the appointments and write down stuff that's going to my department or possibly would be something that I would need to look at. So that way I kind of know, like it's this time, this vehicle is coming in and it's this concern.
You're going to need about 350.
In my sheet, on my little slip of paper so that I know what's going on for the day, right? So I had this vehicle that the customer says, vehicle lurches forward when going from drive to park and shutting the engine off. The vehicle lurches forward. I'm like, okay, well, this is probably just like a normal condition of the park pawl, like where you put it into park and then it.
What is it called? Park pawl?
Park pawl. Yeah, it's like a physical.
Like my last name?
No.
How do you spell it?
Not spelled the same.
P-A-W-L.
Okay.
But it's like a physical sprag that like a tooth fits in to like lock your car in automatic transmission so it doesn't roll down the hill, right? Okay, that's the whole point of it, right?
Until that breaks.
So the customer shows up in the service drive and the service advisor calls me up and says, hey, can you deal with this guy? So I go out and deal with this guy and the language communication isn't very good because he doesn't speak English very well. So he was trying to explain to me what's going on. I said, okay, well, why don't you show me what's happening? And I thought that it was just going to be something that happens in the service drive. So he so
3 hour tour.
yeah. So well, it's
At this moment, Mike realized he fucked up.
so it's not that bad. So I get in the car and he starts like moving out of the service drive. I'm like, okay, so I throw the seatbelt on, and so he backs up and he goes out. So he's like trying to leave the service drive onto the busy street, and he puts his foot on the brake, and then turns the engine off and opens up the door and starts to get out of the car and says, see, it's rolling forward.
Well, it's in gear with the engine off.
And I'm sitting in the passenger seat and the engine's off. And so I immediately reach over to my left-hand side and slap the thing into park.
Yeah.
And I say, sir, what are you doing?
Excuse me.
Can you please get back in the car? And so he got back in the car and I said, this is your concern? He's like, yeah, like it rolled forward and it like made damage to my house and to my car. I said, yeah, I bet it did.
I bet it did. You're in D, not P.
Yeah, there's a soundbite for this, whatever. But anyway, yes. So this legitimately happened to me. He thought that he could just
Turn the
car off, and it would
and do its thing.
Wait,
So D doesn't mean done.
Yeah.
no. And then he was trying to tell me about sport mode, and I was like, first of all, you have to understand how this thing works. You have to put it in park before you turn the engine off. And then that way the car doesn't roll into your house. And he like, what do you like? Really? I was like, yeah, it's just like any other car ever.
I was
made.
just gonna say. Then the customer looks at you and be all like, "Well, then why can't the car be turned off and drive?"
My cars do that though.
Well, so
Ever since an incident,
well,
rotary dial cars may shut it into
even the shifter ones. Yeah.
before we move on from when you,
I hate rotodial cars.
Yeah.
so if a customer is driving you,
I never let the customers drive unless it's something specific. Oh yeah, if you're watching this, we're doing the
chef's
Italian
kiss.
thing. Here, thank you. There you go, buddy.
No, that like if someone is gonna drive you, like, do you make sure they have like a driver's license?
This dude put me in facing traffic, rolling downhill, and got out.
Abandoned
of
the car.
Fucking car.
Oh my god!
He got out of the car,
Nice.
left me in the passenger seat.
It's really good to see you today.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
There you go.
we're there.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so moving on to the next horrible story.
I was just gonna say, might as well roll into that.
Yeah, so
Roll
see what
in.
I did there?
Don't put
Thank
it
you.
in park. Roll right into the
we're
next
gonna
one.
roll right into this one. So I had another customer this week that really nice older couple, and they had a 2010 F-150, and
I'm sorry.
this thing's got round about 130,000 miles or whatever that equates to kilometers, some fraction of like times 2.2 or whatever.
It does say 127 up there.
Oh, it's 127,000 miles.
I thought that was K.
Oh,
I thought it was
Gotcha.
jams.
It's 127K miles.
Oh my gosh!
So
you are a technician.
They couldn't understand how their vehicle might have had more than one problem. for having that age and mileage on it. So the history is like they come in for like some things sometimes, but when we recommend like front brakes or we recommend
I have a guy
service,
for that.
they decline everything. So the concern was that they had it was a certain service writer, so he tends to write up multiple concerns on one line. But we have
Archie. Archie. That's not his real name.
Anyway,
Oh, he just knows.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I don't like that.
So we're talking about like a slip bump on acceleration and a chatter on turns is what it ended up being. It was two different concerns, and the latter part was extremely intermittent, And so I fixed the first problem by lubing the slip yoke, and then the lady comes back to me. The wife comes back to me at the end and says, well, my husband said, the vehicle's still exhibiting the same concern as last time. I just don't understand. I said, well, you have a couple different concerns. We had like on the takeoff, we had a slip and bump concern, and then a super intermittent concern about on chatter on turns or whatever it ended up being.
Okay.
And essentially what it turned out to be was that they just couldn't understand that there were multiple concerns with the vehicle. So I explained, well, the engine drives the transmission drives the drive shaft drives the differential drives the wheels. So as we have all these different faults going down the line,
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
I was going to say the leg bone's connected to it.
Fair enough. Good.
Exactly. It's the same thing. So they were much more appreciative. And when they went to go mention, because the problem was that when we recommended the differential service, they declined it and took it somewhere else.
Yep.
And the place that did it somewhere else didn't add in the friction modifier because it's a limited slip differential. So they had
Nice.
differential
But they were
chatter.
cheaper.
Yeah, they were cheaper, I'm sure. So when
Less parts.
it is the age old you get what you pay for.
I told her, I said,
and it
well,
follows you everywhere. I don't care.
I told her, I said, well, if you would just, if you would have not declined the service and you would have done it with our dealership, then, you might have had a different experience.
Well, and it's like I've told other customers when they go and they decline work when we tell them, and they're like, well, I've got another guy. And I always like to look at the customer, and it's like, it's always good to have, either another guy or I can take it to this other shop and it'll be cheaper, especially when it's other shop, to be cheaper. It's usually a place, oh my God, my tongue, place like Brake Masters or whatever the case it may be. And I tell them, look, when you take it to this place like Brake Masters, whatever the case, they are able to give you a cheaper rate. Number one, because they're using aftermarket parts, which not always is that a good choice. Sometimes it's
almost
good to
never a good
go
choice.
original manufacturing parts, and there's nothing wrong with that. And two, look, when you walk in there, another reason why it is cheaper is because you've got Mr. just turned 18.
No, I think you said Travis last time.
Well, you know what? This time it's going to be Paul. We're going to call him Paul.
Justin.
There we go. I like Justin. So you go and
Chad.
Chadwick.
Oh my God.
Kyle.
Bob.
I don't know any Kyles.
No, there's no young Bobs.
I don't know any Kyles.
No,
We can use Kyle.
Okay, Kyle it is. So you go.
You go to Kyle and
So you get nothing.
yeah.
Right. So you go to Kyle and it's like, Kyle's all like, oh my God, I've always wanted to work on cars. This is his first mechanical or automotive job. And he's 18, 19, whatever the case may be. And like you said, it's like, oh, I'm going to drain a diff. But what did he forget? And it's the same thing. Mazdas with the brakes have to be put into maintenance mode. And we tell them all the time with that. You can't just clamp the caliper piston.
That
you can't.
fucks up the calipers so fast.
And we tell people that, and it's like, look, and they're like, well, how do you put it into maintenance mode? And it's like, we will not tell you that. And that is not the fact of it's like, you're screwed if you go anywhere else. Mazda tells the technicians it's a trade secret.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to do the work and go into it or whatever, it is a Mazda trained technician, and that is part of their Mazda training.
Yeah.
So we have
It's
told
part of
people
what you pay for
right,
when
and-
you go to a dealership.
and that is the biggest thing. We will tell them, and I'll tell my customers, look, you need brakes bad. And what I'm going to tell you is not to scare you. This is because I have seen other customers go elsewhere, get their brakes done, and it's yes, we're charging you $500-$600 for a full brake job. I get it. And you go somewhere else and it's $450, so you save money. I get it. Everybody likes to save money. But when you come back 2 weeks later and you're looking at a $2,500 repair because Kevin or Chad or
Kyle
or Bradley,
Let's use Kevin. He's not here.
whoever decides to take a freaking C-clamp to your caliper piston and wreck it,
Yep.
you then come back for brakes, calipers, everything. Hope to God they don't mess with the the EPB motor, all of that. And that's the thing. So it's like, and then they look at you. Well, it's like, we are really here to help. It is. We love your business, but if you're going to go elsewhere, I can at least tell you the possible things that I have legitimately seen happen.
Yep.
And that's just all there is to it.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty bad.
right, and it's hard for people to understand that. But it's like, look, if you go to a fancy restaurant, or when you want to go out for a steak, are you going to go to IHOP or are you going to go to like Ruth Chris? You're going to go to Ruth Chris because you want a good steak. It's the same
I've
thing.
never been to Ruth Chris. It sounds amazing.
Oh, dude, it's good. I'll take you.
Okay, well.
Allie,
Everybody
Allie.
heard that. We have
Yes,
literally
Allie,
at
Allie.
least 3 witnesses right
Allie,
now.
can I have a mandate with Mike?
Yeah.
To Ruth Chris. You heard her.
Absolutely.
all right, we're getting
It's
settled.
on. I'm going to get you
it's
so
fucking
wine
settled.
drunk.
I'm gonna go hang out with Ivanka in K-Town and
Yeah, there you go.
do it up.
So because we're getting a little close to the ending here, we have to discuss some things real fast. And this is what we have. And everybody knows. Well, and if you don't, if you ever hear that, we've got some listener mail or some printouts.
Listener mail.
Because Mike takes the time to make beautiful printouts.
Yes. So we're going to actually start and
Guys, silly? I'm still gonna send it.
still going to send it. We're going to
Speaking
start.
of sending it, this came from a message that was sent to us by a listener.
Yes. So we are going to start with Terry. And Terry, we're already buds, dude. We're best friends after what just happened. It's like, you want to do karate in the garage? Because
Hell yeah.
So to give a little background here, me and Terry had a little back and forth on our messenger through
You
our
got-
Facebook. And it's true. I got straight up de-slapped
Called
and
out.
owned. I got called. Well,
And I was there, as Eric would say, I was there for it. I was here for it.
We'll get there. We'll get to that point.
So we will go ahead and read this while we have the little printout, and then we'll go to discussing.
So Kier will be reading the part of Terry, who Kier, nobody can hear you.
But they could see me.
Yeah, nobody can
they
hear
can
you
hear.
curtsy into the camera. So
This is my debut.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
okay, so Kier will be reading the part of Terry. Jake will be reading the part of
I'm a Jake. I'm Jake. I'm a Jake.
and Allie and I will fill in where it's appropriate.
There you go.
Allie, you remember this one?
Oh, I remember.
You get it, girl. Mm-hmm. All right. Terry Kier, you want
Shall
to
we?
start?
So how does the JB80 compare to BG Enforce? I love the BG stuff. My favorite thing about it is you can apply it without getting it everywhere, like the Blaster stuff and WD-40. If you've used Enforce, you can apply it by the drop if you want.
And I responded with, the JB80 is kick-ass, man. It grabs to whatever you're applying to. It's not messy at all. And like I said in the last episode, I use that stuff on a little bit of everything. Ha, 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 ha. It's a really, it's a really great product.
So what do you lube, Jake? Your pen? Your chair swivels?
Okay.
So, wait,
So at this point,
yes, so, yeah.
So we all have access
Sell
to
the bell.
see the Facebook Messenger.
You know what? Fuck
threads,
you, Mike. It didn't need that many bells.
to see all of the Messenger threads. So this is my time to shine, Mike.
sorry, Allie, I'm
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my God, I almost shot Truly out my nose.
So I send out the meme of vigorous popcorn eating, just watching
super nervous.
watching the thread,
Yeah.
waiting to see what's gonna happen next. To my husband. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
And-
See, that's the thing. I like that stuff. It's like the back and forth, the harping, and like Terry said, he's like, if a rider and a tech don't take every opportunity to jab at one another. It's
every day.
Every single
day.
Yeah, every day.
That's what
It's
makes
like-
family.
me and my
It's the
techs, man.
camaraderie. Yeah.
Bonds the shop. It bonds the shop.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing better than the back and forth banter between two loving people.
Right. And I told Terry, it's all like with that. Not to be honest, that was funny as hell. I don't
yeah.
care. So
But do you?
what?
Do you use it to lube your
I do,
chair and then?
You know what I do now? I do now. It actually is. I had a horrible squeak, and I just wasn't getting those full 360s like I used to.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, but what I told Terry is, it's like I use it to clean my personal firearms, which is really good. It really eats away at rust, corrosion. It's great for actual lubrication. I've used it on my 73 Roadrunner, my mom's 67 GTO, my dad's 73 CUDA, pretty much everything. It's like
Rest in peace,
anything that I think I'm like, oh, JB80, yeah, let's give it a go. And it really has worked for pretty much everything. So it is a fantastic product. And oh yes, we have to yeet.
So we yeeted that one away.
Yep.
Thank you, Terry, for writing it to us. We love the banter back and forth.
Love you, Terry.
We cannot tell you enough how much we appreciate you guys writing in.
Yep.
Sending us voice memos. We'll tell you how to do that at the end of the episode. We have one more to get through right now.
Yes.
And this is a special one from Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Anonymous does not want to be named.
Keep hop among the mists.
And we're gonna read through this together.
Okay.
Jake, do you want to do this one?
I'll
Yeah,
start.
sure. No,
Anonymous listener
there you
talking
go.
about seeing Mike's multi-point inspection.
On the Ford Technicians Forum. See, we're doing that together.
See?
You see what I did? There you go.
So this
you,
person
Kier.
is on our Ford Tech.
That's what I
or
figured.
On one of my Ford Tech forums.
Okay.
Because I'm the only person on the Ford Tech forums here.
Yeah.
How do
sorry.
you know?
'Cause
I'm under-
You guys aren't on the Ford Tech.
I'm under an
forums.
unofficial name. I won't tell you who I am on the Ford Tech.
Are you Earl Ramsey? So Jake, I guess you can fire this up. Yeah. So like anonymous listener talking about seeing Mike's multi-point inspection comment on a Ford Technicians forum. I commented about. I think it was something about how they were bitching about how techs don't get paid for multi-points.
Oh.
Then I said something how even warranty for me pays 0.2 to do a multi-point, but customer pay I don't get paid to do multi-points.
Right.
So like if you have a warranty maintenance service plan, I get paid 0.2 to do multi-point. If it's customer pay or anything else in the shop, I don't get paid to do multi-point. So Jake, would you please read on for us?
Yeah, you got it, man. Alrighty. Also, saw your multi-point inspection comment. Got a good story about that. We have a big shot company coming in monthly for training at all of our group dealerships. The company name is called Dealer Pro. I'm guessing you might have heard about them. Well, if not, they train you 1980s service tactics to increase your sales. It doesn't work. Anyhow, back on track. They give us a SMART, which is an acronym for Service Maintenance Annual something something.
That's pretty fair.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty fair.
Chart for mileage-based services. Management used to get onto me about not doing full bore into the free multi-point inspection seats. I'd only have 1 or 2 recommendations per car, and that was about it. Mostly because my service writer straight up doesn't even attempt to make the sale of any of it unless it's a dire safety issue or it's an issue that the car is actually written up for. So, speaking of shots fired, so me, being the king of shop politics, said fine. I got a hold of that sheet and I went to town for 3 months. Averaged about 9 recommendations per RO. We're a high-volume service shop as well. When busy, it's nothing to get 45 scheduled appointments a day for the shop. After 3 months, I sat down with my service manager and told him I am getting almost nothing for upsells. He disagrees with me, so he pulls up the reports in Reynolds. Sure enough, out of the industry average of 35% recommended sales being sold, I'm sitting at 9%. Oof. For that 3-month period.
Wow.
Brutal. That is. Then I found out the number Reynolds actually reported was wrong. If you did the math manually, it was less than that. 226 recommendations, 15 sales.
Damn.
Comes out to roughly 6%.
Yeah.
My God. Needless to say, my rider got in hot water. I have yet to hear anything about my MPI recommendations since, and I use my lack of customer sales as leverage from time to time as needed.
So, I mean,
That fucking hurts.
yeah,
That's brutal.
And you know what?
That's bad.
It's kind of the way it is. I see the argument from both sides. As a tech, and then as
Of course.
a not tech, and
A not tech.
That's what we are,
Sounds
bud.
evil.
We're not
Sounds
techs.
evil.
well, there's two types of people: techs and not techs, right?
Well, wait,
Wow.
3, then management.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Well, those aren't people.
That's that's
Robots.
that's not tech with extra steps.
So I mean, it's very true. You can recommend everything to the customer and tell them that the wheels are literally going to fall off as they leave your dealership and they don't want to fix it.
Yep.
Or if you tell somebody that they need an oil change and they just had their oil change 2 days ago, but they're dumb, they're going to say, "Yeah, sure, change my oil." So
Yep.
you never know what you're going to get, but it's always your duty. This is a PSA.
Duty.
This is a PSA to
Duty.
everybody in the automotive industry. It is always your duty to inform the customer
Yeah, duty.
what is wrong with their vehicle and how they need to fix it.
Yep.
Right.
It's a safety thing. It's a legal thing. If you see something that's wrong legitimately, please note it down.
The Bureau of Automotive Repair will have you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Document. If
Oh,
they buy,
yeah.
they buy.
Yep.
But you gotta let them know.
Aww.
I hear a knock on the
Already.
door. I'm pretty sure it's the black suits coming for me.
so I am sorry, but it is time to end our fantastic time this evening.
Kier, thank you so much, man. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
buddy.
This was great.
Thanks for joining
We
us.
will definitely
have
have
fun?
you back.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It's cool.
You really think a
experience.
guest would tell you they didn't have fun?
Oh no, this was great.
This was
I wanted
fantastic.
an on-air
I can't get out of the
endorsement.
chair.
You
It's a
can't
couch,
see it, but
first
we've.
of all, and I wanted an on-air
big
endorsement.
chair.
But you know what? It's too much to ask for, so we'll just continue to read the credits.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mike, what's our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube, our Patreon? Well, actually, we don't have. Sorry, our
Yeah.
PayPal.
We might have Patreon someday, but
One day.
not yet.
So let's start out with basics. Please email us.
Lefty, Lucy, Righty, Tighty.
That's a good basic. Please email us your comments, suggestions, likes, whatever, idea topics. Your
Send us a voice memo. Yeah.
And I'm always here to take a ragging, guys. If you want to just totally, if you want to totally just dick with me,
Berate Jake.
I'm the best guy for it.
It's
I've
only
got
it's
thick
only
skin.
it's only 2 carnival tickets, right? To do the little punching bag thing on Jake.
It's half off if you bring a stuffed animal.
Oh, okay, good.
'Cause that's
no,
help.
it's the empty can of
Oh, right, the empty
cola.
can of Coke.
Oh
cola.
Cola, sorry.
Cola.
no, you have to bring your
Pop.
cans. Anyways,
So
go on.
please go ahead and email us at customerstatespodcast@gmail.com, which also just happens to be our PayPal. That's also how you can reach us for the hashtag Sell a Bell, or again, like we said, for the voice memos and comments, suggestions, likes, listener mail, ideas. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Customer States Podcast. You can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at customer_states. Please go ahead and check out Dale Follett's YouTube or Dale Follett's website at twistedbells.com.
I was like, he has a YouTube.
I believe he is on YouTube, but you can find that through his Facebook, which is also on there. Dale Follett's the guy that does
Yep.
all of our stuff.
Yep.
Go ahead and check out Norman's Instagram at Stovocore_Metalworks. That's STOVOKOR_Metalworks. And again, you can always check us out on anchor.fm/customer states. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yep.
Don't forget about the hashtag Sell the Bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Because those things are going like hotcakes.
Yes,
and
they are.
we'd love to see you guys hashtag Sell the Bells in their new natural environment. Kier sent us a picture
Yep.
of his,
Yep.
Have it on my
his new
desk.
natural environment. Yeah.
Mini
and
conversation starter.
Yep,
it
exactly.
is
Very
a
cool.
mini conversation starter.
Yep.
It is absolutely fantastic. And hopefully, again, we'll hand it up to the camera one more time for those of us that might be able to see it. Thank you very much for watching us. Thank you very much for listening. If you're listening to something that you can subscribe or like to,
Yep.
do that.
Yeah.
If, you're
If it
watching
has
us,
that option, do
smash
it.
that subscribe or like button. Whatever happens with the interwebs.
Yeah, if we're YouTube, yeah, we can say that now.
we're-
Something about a bell.
Right, we're going to be doing YouTube, guys. I'm going to start up a Twitch for us where later on it'll probably
Don't say it and not do it.
Well, Twitch will be probably free to begin with, and later on, it's like we might make it a live recording so only certain people get to watch. Either way, fun stuff to come. But once again, guys, thank you for listening. We're on episode whatever it is, but
It is episode 3 of season 2.
There we go,
Of
but-
Customer States Podcast.
right, episode 3 of season 2. But once again, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you to Kier for joining us.
Thank you,
Mike,
Kier.
thanks for playing the
Thanks,
board.
guys.
Allie, thanks for dealing with all of our bull crap.
You're welcome. It's tough sometimes.
Yeah, I know. But we will see you guys next week once again, guys.
Love you.